Savior, and I know that you're always gonna be there. Yeah, you're always gonna be there. When I'm in danger, when I'm in trouble, when I'm surrounded, well, I know that it's you that I can count on, that I can always count on. Hear me shout it out. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk man. Jesus, what a friend.
Hey everyone, Pastor Hannah here. I am excited to hang out with you today as we talk about how you are God's masterpiece because you are chosen. Say, I am God's masterpiece because I am chosen.
Did you ring?
I did? Wait, no I didn't.
Oh, my mistake.
I'm not even sure who that was.
Did you say my name?
I did not.
Oh, my mistake.
Okay, wait. Who are you?
I'm Zephanefra Clementine Avocado Gonzalez the Fourth.
The fourth? 3 other people have that name?
It's a really popular name,
Okay.
but you can call me Zoe.
Thank goodness for that. Zoe, it's great to meet you. Can you tell us about yourself?
Did you not hear me when I said my name?
I did, got that. What about other stuff about you?
That's really it.
No, there's gotta be more to you.
Oh, there is.
But you said there's not.
Well, I know there is. Other people, that's a different story.
I don't...
Basketball, not on a team. Painting art projects, never a finalist. Spaghetti throwing contest, never invited.
I didn't know that last one was a thing.
It is. I've been never chosen.
Okay, I get it now. So you were popping up hoping that I'd chosen you.
That feels obvious.
Okay, well today we're talking about how I am God's masterpiece because I am chosen.
4?
Well, that's a great question. Why don't we find out together?
Then spaghetti throwing.
Deal.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Ethan.
And...
Wait, can we say it at the same time this time?
Sure.
All right, on 1. 3, 2, it's
It's
time
time-
for a Bible story. Well, yeah, that was a miss.
Sure was.
Sorry about that, probably confusing, but what Bible story do we have today?
Today we're talking about Joshua, son of Nun.
He didn't have parents? That's terrible.
What?
He's like, no parents, son of none.
No, Nun. N-U-N, not N-O-N-E.
Oh, like a nun, like Catholic nun. His mom was a nun.
No, his dad was Nun.
His dad was a nun? A boy nun. Can I be a nun?
Stop. No, you cannot. Let's drop the nun thing. We'll just call him Joshua.
Joshua, son of none ya business. Proceed.
Okay. So Joshua was one of the Israelites who followed Moses through the wilderness. He was one of the ones that followed Moses when God parted the Red Sea for them to pass through, and when Moses read them the 10 Commandments. And if you remember the story of when Moses sent 12 guys to spy on the people who lived in the Promised Land, Joshua was one of them.
Oh yeah, him and Caleb were the only 2 spies who thought they should even go into the Promised Land. The land promised to them. By God. Seems like a no-brainer.
That's what God thought too. So he told Joshua and Caleb that they were the only 2 men from their age group that would get to go into the Promised Land.
Ha! Take that, old people.
So Moses knew he was getting old and close to dying. So after he read the law that God had given them to the Israelites, Moses called Joshua up and said, "Be strong and courageous, for you must go with this people into the land that the Lord swore to their ancestors to give them. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged."
Yeah, who's in charge now?
I just said Joshua.
Yeah, well, I was saying it like, never mind.
Okay. Later, Moses died and God spoke to Joshua. He told him that it was time for the Israelites to cross over into the promised land. But Joshua would need to lead them and not be afraid because God would be with them.
What's so scary about the promised land anyways? If God picked it out, you'd think it'd be dope. Except for the milk and honey everywhere. That sounds like the worst day of cleaning ever.
No, not that. There were giants living in the land that needed to be kicked out. So Joshua needed to lead the charge to the promised land. So he told the Israelite people to pack up, and Joshua began to lead the people, just the way God instructed him to. And eventually, he ended up leading the Israelites into the promised land and defeating the giants.
Well, good for Joshua. From being a super awesome spy to being the leader of a whole nation.
That's right, and he did a lot more cool stuff. But that is a story for another day.
Oh, man. Well, what did they do about all the milk and honey? What happened with the other 10 spies? Did Joshua's dad ever become a nun?
The end.
trust in you. I trust in you. I am forever yours. I trust in you. I trust in you.
What's up, everybody? Adam Bush here. Hey, today we are talking about how you and I are God's masterpiece. And today specifically, we're talking about how you are God's masterpiece because you are chosen. When I was a kid, I've talked about this before, I used to hang out with this group of friends that really were my best friends. We're all about the same age. We went to see concerts together, to movies together. We made videos together, fun like comedy sketches. But there was one guy that would hang around us sometimes. His name was Brandon. And Brandon wasn't a super nice guy. In fact, every time Brandon came around, anytime he saw me, he would say the same thing. He would say, "Who brought the kid?" He would say it like this, I remember very well. He would say, "Who brought the kid?" And like at first I didn't really think about it, but after a while it really started to get to me because it didn't make me feel very good, right? It basically made me feel like he was saying, "Adam, you're not cool enough to hang out with us." And just kind of that phrase or that idea just kind of carried with me through school. Like if I didn't get picked for a team, I would kind of feel like, who brought the kid? Like I was a kid that nobody really wanted around. Or if I didn't win an award, I would be like, feeling like, who brought the kid? Nobody wanted me around to win that award. Even like when I was much older, if I didn't get a job I wanted or get to do something cool that I wanted to do, I would feel like I was worthless. But it's not true. In fact, the Bible, throughout the gospel, Jesus is talking to us about how God's view of us is just the opposite, how we are God's masterpiece and we are chosen by Him. We're unique, we're special. But it's not what's on the outside, the way that we look, that specifically makes us chosen by God. Instead, it's what's on the inside. What's on the inside is different in you. Let me show you what I mean. When we talk about how you are God's masterpiece, and because of that, how you are chosen, we're not so much talking about what you look like on the outside. We all look, uniquely different on the outside. We have different hair, or we are different heights, different skin colors, and that's awesome. And that is part of how God made you. But when we're talking about you being God's masterpiece, we're specifically talking about what God has put on the inside of you. And there are a couple of different things that we're looking at. Number one, we're looking at the personality, the gifts, the characteristics that you have on the inside of yourself. You might be really good at math or English, or you might be really good at like a skill like typing in school or problem solving. Maybe you're really artsy. Maybe you like to draw. Maybe you like to do crafts. Maybe you're really musical. Those are personality traits that God has put on the inside of you, and that is part of being God's masterpiece. But there's another part too, and that's what is on the inside of you when you ask Jesus into your heart. When you say, "Lord, I want to make Jesus the king of my heart, of my life. I want him to live inside of me. I want to follow Jesus all of my days," then you are inviting part of the Spirit of God inside of you. And we've talked about this before. It's called the fruit of God's Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. How much are you putting other people before you? How much peace are you taking from God to have in your own life and sending out to other people? How much do you have of God's self-control on the inside of you? Those are things that make you God's masterpiece. And we can't always see that when we look at you on the outside, but we feel it when we see you using your personality and working in the fruit of the Spirit of God. It's kind of like this. So I've got these eggs here, and I think if we look at these eggs, we would all agree that each of these eggs looks about the same. But what if I told you that there is something inside one of these eggs that makes it uniquely different, that makes it a bit of a masterpiece? You might say, I don't see that. What if I said, I want you to pick up the egg that is different on the inside? You might be like, okay, probably can do that. You pick up this egg and you're like, okay, kind of feels, I don't know what this feels like, kind of feels like this. All right, put that one down and then pick this one up. Okay, feels kind of the same, I don't know, and then let's see, I'll pick this one up. Yep, they all kind of feel the same. So if I said, is one of these eggs different than the other, you might say, but based on what I'm kind of experiencing here, like they're all exactly the same. But because I know what's different about these eggs on the inside, I can choose the right one to show you that it is different than the others. All right, here we go. We got a glass bowl, we got this carton of eggs, boom, eggs. What if I told you that I have chosen one of these eggs to be different on the inside than the rest of them? This one egg is a bit of my masterpiece. But how are we gonna find out? Science, a little science experiment, kind of an experiment. Let's go. Egg numero uno. There's that one. Yeah. Oh, same. Not unique. Yeah. It's not hard enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our last egg. This is the one that I have chosen to be unique. It is my masterpiece. What makes it different on the inside? This one is hard-boiled. This egg is unique to the other eggs. This one's different on the inside. What makes you different on the inside? What makes you a masterpiece? Well, it's just like what we talked about earlier. Your personality, the things that God has put on the inside of you that make you special, what it is you like to do, your talents, your gifts, the things that get you really excited. And then after you ask Jesus into your heart, utilizing the fruit of the Spirit in your life, showing people love, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. That's what we mean when we say you are God's masterpiece because you are chosen.
I go to him in the evening. I go to him every moment. I go to him, cause when I pray up, I stood up in the moment. I go to him in the evening. I go to him every moment. I go to him, cause when I pray up, I stood up. It's a brand new way to be human. It's a super way to be human. It's a brand new way to be human. I'm building my life on Jesus Christ, yeah. Oh, 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 building my life on Jesus Christ. In the good times, I go to him. In the sad times, I go to him. In my every time, I go to him. Cause when I pray up, I stood up. In the good times, I go to him. In the sad times, I go to him. In my every time, I go to him. Cause when I pray up, I stood up. It's a brand new way to be human. It's the super way to be human. It's a brand new way to be human. I'm building my life on Jesus Christ. It's a brand new way to be human. It's the super way to be human. It's a brand new way to be human. I'm building my life on Jesus Christ, yeah. Oh, 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 building my life on Jesus Christ. He made the way for me to be superhuman. He made the way for me to be superhuman, yeah. He made the way for me to be superhuman. He made the way for me to be superhuman, yeah. He made the way for me to be superhuman. He made the way for me to be superhuman. It's a